If a man has recently become aware of how caught up he is in his mother's world, and has a rough idea of what happened during his formative years, he could experience a fair amount of anger, rage, and hate. This is how he can feel whenever he is around his mother, and when he thinks about how he was treated by her. However, before long, he can come to believe that he needs to forgive her and to live his own life. This can be something that takes place after he has spoken to a friend or even a therapist. Taking into account how he feels and the impact that this is having on his life, it could be said that this will be the right thing for him to do. If then he doesn't do this, he will continue to experience negative feelings and his life will be overlooked. He could end up focusing on how destructive it is for him to not forgive his mother, and how this is causing him to waste his time and energy. So, by consciously choosing to forgive her and changing his behavior, his life could gradually change. At the same time, although he has chosen to do this and has changed his behavior, he may find that he is unable to get very far. In addition to having the need to be there for his mother, a big part of him could struggle to accept that he deserves to have his own life. Once again, if he were to speak to a friend or a therapist, he could be told that he deserves to have his own life. From this, it will be clear that forgiving his mother is just one part of what he needs to do. Along with this, he will also need to forgive himself. At this point, he could wonder what he needs to forgive himself for, as he won't have done anything wrong. This is true as he will have been deprived and mistreated during his formative years. He won't have deprived or mistreated anyone else. Furthermore, he won't be using anyone now that he is an adult. Nonetheless, even though he wouldn't have done anything wrong, he would have blamed himself for what happened. The reason for this is that, at this stage of his life, he was egocentric. It was then not that he was being deprived because his mother and father were unable to give him what he needed. No, it was because there was something inherently wrong with him. This was what his underdeveloped brain came to believe. What would have also played a part in this is that he needed his mother's and father's love, and by believing that he was the problem, it would have given him the hope, the false hope, that he could change what was going on. If he had accepted reality, it would have been too much for him to handle. Naturally, as he was powerless and dependent, it would have been too much for him to accept that his mother and father couldn't love him. This is why blocking out reality and creating a false view of reality played a big part in him being able to survive. With this in mind, it will be imperative for him to know, at the core of his being, that how he was treated was not his fault. He wasn't treated in this way because he was worthless and unlovable. This means that he deserves to have his own life, and for his life to be deeply fulfilling. He doesn't need to earn this right. He has the right to be here. Even so, there will be the inner work that he needs to do on himself in order to know this and to live a life that is radically different to the one that he lives. To gradually move forward, there will be what he needs to do at a mental and emotional level. When it comes to the former, he will have beliefs to question and thoughts to challenge. And when it comes to the latter, he will have pain to face and work through. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.